Hi, I'm Gibson,
My name is Burke.
And I'm Frank.
and we're the founders of SoleLine. For 2016, the U.S. athletic shoe market was valued at $17.5 billion. Classic sneakers were the hottest sellers and were valued at $4.4 billion. The biggest players are Jordan, Nike, and Adidas. These brands release more than 550 sneakers a year, bringing in millions of dollars per release. So who's buying these shoes? A community of shoe collectors known as sneakerheads. When this Jordan shoe was released on Nike's website, it sold out in 3 hours. This one shoe grossed over $140 million in sales. If sneakerheads can't get shoes at retail, they go to a secondary resale market. This shoe retailed at $180, but resale price peaked at $600, which shows a 330% markup. Now, this Adidas shoe was released in 2016, and its retail price was $170. And now it's selling for $2,500, which is a 1,370% markup. And there are many shoes like this one that sell for thousands of dollars.
So who are these sneakerheads? There's these two buddies of mine, DJ Khaled and Bernard, who share one love, sneakers. They both invested a lot of money in their sneaker collection, but man, do they have problems. There's no organization, no space, no way to get to the shoes, nor see the shoes. Now, DJ Khaled spends thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on these custom sneaker shells, but he has problems. His sneaker collection's already outgrown his shell. Plus, he has to dust his dusty shoes every day, and not to mention the smell. Bernard over here settles and buys these cheap drop-front shoe boxes. His problem is that he can't fit his shoes properly into the box. The other day, he spent $1,000 on this pair of Yeezys, and if he can't even see them, how can he show them off? Not to mention, these boxes break so easily that he can't even trust his sneaker collection of these. Whenever I hear this problem, I tell him the solution, SoleLine.
SoleLine is a patent-pending modular storage container. When stacked on a base connected to an outlet, an electric connection is made between the containers. This allows users to customize their shelf with a variety of components. A fan can be placed to aerate the shoes and eliminate odor. It prevents dust from collecting, keeping your shoes smelling fresh and looking clean. Dividers can be inserted so that you can organize your shoes the way you want. You can display 1 pair, 2 pairs, and efficiently store up to 4 pairs of sneakers. The divider lines inside the boxes allow you to slide in the dividers so that you can, and even flip-flops, anything smaller, anything bigger, you customize it how you want. And that's really what makes this product so great is shelves right now is, you buy one shelf and it only fits one thing. But these let you customize how you store your products. Lights can be used so that you can turn your shelf of shoes into a city of sneakers. Blue lights can be used, which are proven to stunt the growth of bacteria. These lights give you full creative control over your display. A clear front door provides easy access to the contents within, and when you need more storage for your shoes, simply buy another SoleLine container and add it to your existing shelf.
So who's our target market? Sneakerheads, who have a population of 1.2 million. Our total addressable market is valued at $240 million. From our market research, 48% of sneakerheads buy containers for their shoes. Assuming each sneakerhead buys 20 containers at $10 per box, our segmented addressable market is valued at $115.2 million. For the first year, our realistic goal is to capture 1% or $1.1 million.
To find out more information about the sneakerhead community, we went to a sneaker convention in Atlanta. Here, we displayed a miniature model of the SoleLine containers and took surveys. 85% of sneakerheads surveyed said they would pay $40 per box, and these containers only held 1 pair of shoes. Since then, we've redesigned our containers so that you can display 2 pairs and store up to 4. Therefore, sneakerheads would pay $80 per SoleLine container. Including the price of shipping, we plan to sell directly to consumer in the first year at $100 per container.
Where we currently stand, we have a preliminary prototype, as you see before you, and a provisional patent. We have quotes to finalize the prototype, to file a non-provisional patent, and to manufacture 3,125 units. With all the other expenses, we estimate the startup cost to be $168,000.
For the first year, we expect this. For the first year, we expect to sell 9,375 units to 2,800 customers. By year 2, we will go into retail and increase units sold to 35,000 units. By year 5, we'll sell around 170,000 units.
In the first year, we estimate to have a net profit of $248,000, resulting in a 26% net profit margin. At the end of year 1, we will meet our goal of capturing 1% of the market. By year 3, net profit margins will jump to 33%. These are actually conservative projections because they don't include sales from other products we plan to release. Our marketing strategy for the first year includes attending sneaker conventions and using Facebook and Google Ads. In the second year, we will hire a marketing and sales team to pursue more channels. These channels include YouTube celebrities who have a cult following among sneakerheads. DJ Khaled, for example, from before, he has 5 million followers on Instagram, and a lot of his posts are about just his shoe collection. And these people just, go crazy for these shoes. For our online advertising, we'll target websites frequented by sneakerheads like this one, and as you see here as well. We estimate to have a customer acquisition cost of around $23 per customer from sneaker cons and around $3 per customer from online ads.
For the future SoleLine, we'll have a product. For the future SoleLine, we will develop our product to have a variety of color, style, and sizes, as well as an integrated app. We will expand to the shoe store display and the general display containers. Soon, we'll merge into the women's shoe market, valued at $11.9 billion. Eventually, we'll start selling internationally.
These sneakerheads are drowning in problems, so let's throw them a lifeline with SoleLine.
Thank you.
Great job, guys. I think it's a very interesting niche. All right, I've known several people that have been shoe collectors, not to the extent of some of these people that you see out there, but understand the market exists. And so, can you back up to the financial slide for just a minute? Let's go backwards.
The startup cost?
Yeah. Where's your tooling cost? And where are you making this? Where's the tooling? Where's the capital?
So sorry, I'm not sure I understand.
Molds.
Oh, right. Okay, that's included in the cost of manufacture. That's the quote directly from a manufacturer in Korea. That's where we got these prototypes made, and that's the quote we got straight from them.
Okay, it didn't have any capital tooling or.
It does. That includes the molds as well. The molds. Would
the cost come down after, if you own the molds? How much is the unit cost? That's what I'm trying to get to,
okay.
Because I'm dividing that, and I'm saying where did the tooling come from, and
right.
I'm looking for the net contribution margin. Like if you went here and said, okay, what's it going to cost me to make one?
So the unit,
and then what am I going to get as a gross profit margin?
The tooling is a
Yeah.
one-time CapEx.
yeah.
After that, your margin
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right. So this cost to manufacture, just because it's startup, that includes the tooling. After that, the cost of manufacture will come down because it won't include those molds, like you said. So this is just for that initial startup.
How much is in each? How much is one?
So to get
box,
one,
the way you've got it right there.
To get one box here, in hand is $50 per box. To land it here. Yes.
Part of the issue in Asia too, manufacturing, it's got a heavy. It's got a high cube. It's got very bulky, and there's a lot of freight component into it. So
that's also included with the handling and freight fees. Again, this is just a startup cost, so that would be for one minimum run. And
so you're going to make them for 30. What'd you say? And sell them for 50? What did you?
Make them for 50. Get them landed for 50. Sell them for 100.
Okay.
Which one? No, it comes off. They stack.
Yeah, stack.
Oh, yes, that's one.
Are there patents on the cube?
We have a provisional patent right now for the, this is just, again, a preliminary patent. It doesn't have where it plugs into the wall, and that's where the provisional patent we have comes in, the system of stacking and connecting boxes.
So when you plug it in the wall, does that only generate one, or do you have to have?
So the base is the part you would plug into the wall, and then as you stack them, it just stacks and powers each one.
How important is the electricity in the motor to this whole thing?
Well, there's two ways we can go with it. So we can have this kind of higher end version where you have the lights. And you know, when we were displaying it at SneakerCon, the thing that caught most everybody's eye was the lights. You know, they'd walk by and they'd see the lights and they'd be stopped. They're like, oh, what is this? So the lights are a pretty big display portion of it, but we're also planning on having a lower end where it doesn't include the lights or, you know, the fan places, but it still can be stacked within your shelf if you don't want them.
It looks like a dorm fridge housing, a little bit. It's a little smaller, but it's, you know, the motor in the back. I think the lights, by the way, they do look cool, but I'm going to guarantee you that adding the electrical component in the circuitry in that box adds a lot to the, I mean, I don't know what it adds to the unit cost, but it's got to be expensive. So I think it's nice looking, though. It really is.
Thank you. Thank you.
So is it UL certified?
Not yet. We're working on that. We're still a little bit early in our development, so that's one of the things on our
Right.
the list.
And it's not selling now. This is
No. No.
pre-revenue, right? And is anyone else doing something similar to it now? Do you think
Well,
competitively?
Competitively, no one is integrating the electricity and the allowing data to be run through the boxes like this. It's just really plastic boxes, or people go and get custom shelves. And even for custom shelves, the average cost is around $5,000 for a 13 by 17 feet shelf. And DJ Khalid, if you could go back to that slide.
What did I do?
And the average cost, like we don't know how much it costs to build his collection, but the average would be $20,000. And to transform that into our boxes would only cost around $10,000.
It looks like David's wine cellar, probably. Maybe? The storage costs, is that a third party somewhere where you're keeping
Storage
these?
cost, there's two ways we could go with that, is get our kind of own warehouses where we manage the distribution, or go to a
3PL.
third party. Like
Yeah,
you said, that would
3PL.
make it easier also for returns and things like that. And we haven't decided yet, so that's kind of another decision we'll have to make when we get there.
Yeah. Did you look at all from a technology point of view in terms of those cubes, like collapsible or multiple pieces? That's why I asked earlier. From a technology point
We
of view?
kind of looked at everything that we could that was similar to what we were trying to do.
Yeah.
As far as collapsible, there's not, I don't know, too much out there right now.
In terms of partnerships, is there any possibility that you could partner with someone like DJ Khaled?
Yes, we expect, instead of maybe partnering, but maybe because he has a big influence on the community and social media, it'd be great if we could send him a few boxes and then he just advertises them for free, like with all the social media and who follows him and how big he is right now.
Because a lot of those like influencers, you know, they'll get things sent to them that have to deal with sneakers and stuff, and they'll make videos just, you know, showing, hey, this is what's out there right now, you know, reviewing it, and they'll have all types of viewers. As far as other partnerships, maybe more retail-wise, thinking stores like Foot Locker, these places where sneakerheads go and get their shoes, you know, brick-and-mortar type stores. But instead of having them, you know, where you would go there and buy it, maybe have a display, and then they could buy it through the store, and that's how we would do our retail. It would get shipped to them after they buy it.
See, one of the problems. Look at the guy's, or an opportunity to resolve his closet. This is super cool, but you got to put it in the front of the closet. So what does he do? Tear his closet out, and build it with shelves like this. I look at places like the Container Store, okay, where I think this thing would go, but it's almost got to be integrated. When you start out, I'd love to have it. Look, I'd love to have more storage space for my shoes and my wife's shoes in my closet, but I need to rip something out in my closet and start with the system, or a system like this in mind, because you still got to have space to go and put all of it. And if you've got existing stuff in the space, do you have to pull it out?
Pretty much, unless you could fit them onto your existing shelves, but you'd pretty much have to, replace your
You'd have to
shelves.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see it being almost a home building solution, though, if it worked back together like that and it went in on the front end. I think it's,
And that's kind of one of the things we kind of hope to do is kind of to reimagine kind of the house and maybe even go into more furniture, general shelving, maybe bookshelves, different sizes, different, different looks so that it's a piece of furniture in your house and you buy it as a piece of furniture. So when you're buying your house, you don't have to say, oh, okay, I got to go put in these shelves. I can just put these containers in where I need them. And if you decide later that you don't want that shelf there, just easily take it apart, move it somewhere else.
I wonder, too, who your customer really is. I mean, I have a son who's a sneakerhead, not to that degree. That's epic. I mean, I don't know anybody that's epic. But, I do a lot in furniture, sporting goods, and footwear. So I totally get it. And I think all of those places are potential places to do it. You're obviously pre-revenue, so I think you have to test it out a lot.
Right.
Any of those places are potential homes to test it out in as far as retail goes. And then on the sourcing side, I'm not a manufacturer, but I think you were saying earlier, and the sourcing side, there's got to be some serious potential there from a cost perspective, I would imagine, to dive into.
the coolers out in the Rotocast. It's a spin thing that doesn't have expensive tooling. It's all here in the United States. It's the reason why most of that product, that larger cube, doesn't come from overseas. So I've been in thermal products before most of my life, in ice chests, coolers, cups, mugs, and things like that. When we get into larger cube like this, it's been tough. The economics have been extremely hard because of the cube. So we've either, we haven't been in it because we don't domestically, we weren't a domestic manufacturer. But it's something that you may want to look into as another.
Sorry, what was it? Could you repeat it?
It's called rotocasting.
Rotocast?
Like there's a company called Iowa Rotocast. There's several people who I'd probably look at domestically. You're going to have higher front-end tooling cost, but when you look at the ability to react in your landed cost, if you took the electrical components out as well, because you got a lot of labor.
Right.
When you go into electrical, Asia is going to trump it on the labor component probably, but it's very similar to cooler, very similar from a production process.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.